I don't. I got
You
gold.
You got gold. Once the war's over, you can invest that gold.
I want more gold. Did someone just shoot at me?
I don't know. That looks climbable, honestly.
It does. I thought that was... Fuck.
Now
Don't.
you're being shot at. Spider-Man's also a cooler hero than people give him credit for.
Yeah. I forgot the name of the villain, but he's actually like... Of the Spider-Man... Spider-Man. Of the Spider-Man mythos, he's like my favorite Spider-Man villain. He's a guy who like... I guess it's like a prophecy that either he'd be stopped by Spider-Man or like... It's something to do with the prophecy in Spider-Man. And so what this guy did is he basically went throughout the multiverse, killing all the different... Fuck! No! Leave me alone! I threw an axe.
Listen to Bombate.
I threw...
How deep is that?
I don't know, but I just crushed an alligator.
But favorite Spider-Man villain?
Yeah, he like goes throughout the multiverse, basically killing all the different versions of Spider-Man. And there's like a massive comic where like Spider-Man travels the multiverse and teams up with all the different versions of Spider-Man in order to stop this guy. Which is really cool. There's a timeline where Uncle Ben becomes Spider-Man. It's just hilarious. I mean, it's sad, but...
Other Marvel characters that are great, the Winter Soldier. It was made very, very popular by the Amazing movie. But, like, the Winter Soldier is awesome.
I like him... I like him more than I think I should, but the Punisher is great.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely a stylistic preference if you like Marvel or DC. DC, for as much as it's got the reputation of being the like grittier, darker thing, like universe, DC is much more likely to have like goofy characters. And so, like, depending on, like, if that's your cup of tea...
I really... My thing is more of, like, I don't know, it really depends on the story that a villain's introduced in. Like, the Joker is a villain that, if done wrong, can get old quick.
Yeah, definitely.
And they have done the Joker wrong a few times. But it's so few that it's like... He still holds up. He doesn't get old as fast as you think he might. Okay, well, that guy went down easy. Ooh. Ooh.
See if there's some way to power up this old train.
Okay.
So is our way out gonna be the train?
Oh, I dropped it. Don't drop it. Fired up the train.
Okay, train's got power.
And that's an
Find the
issue that I
controls
feel
and
like
see if it moves.
with all of the all of the people who like don't like Spider-Man so much anymore, and like I feel like a big reason for that.
Oh, what are we doing?
Just
Why are we
like
doing this?
I feel like a big reason for that is how many failed Spider-Man adaptations there have been.
Oh, this is a flamethrower, not a minigun.
That's like a flamethrower gun. That's
Huh. What do you know?
excuse me.
Stop it. Thank you. You good?
You two having a moment?
Yeah, my thing with it's my thing with villains and just characters in general is like specifically villains. I need to like their motive versus the story is really important to me. Because like a villain that just does something for shits and giggles is really fascinating when done the right way, like the Joker in The Dark Knight.
Right.
But if that's like every storyline their only motive, it just bothers me. But then there's characters like Boo, like Majin Buu in Dragon Ball Z, where at some point he's just an unstoppable force, and that is the goal, is just to try and stop him from killing everything. If that was every single instance of every single villain, it wouldn't be interesting.
Yeah, I think a villain has to be understandable to a point. Like, even if it is, like, understanding that this villain is just crazy and wants to watch the world burn, much like you want to watch this train burn.
Alright, power up the train.
It's, like, I feel like a villain like Loki, even though he oftentimes has no discernible motive other than he just wants to fuck with Thor. Like, it makes it, he's very successful in that he is understandable.
Yeah.
Just as a character. We got out.
We did.
And I do...
Fuck. Alright. We're good.
Ignore the pain. Ain't dead. So keep moving.
And I do appreciate
William, do you
the
read?
Thor franchise,
Fifth Avenue. The
Like-
state building should be near.
kind of slowly turning him into his true form of just, like, a nuisance for Thor.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Even in the comics, like, they work together a lot.
Yeah,
but, like,
Loki's just a dick. So
Yeah.
he's
yeah, and that's pretty much
he's
his
the
character.
trickster god. He's not like crazy malevolent or anything. He's just a dick. And, you know, in the first couple movies, he was like dealing with some strong daddy issues, but like shoot him in the butt or cut his legs off.
I mean, I shot him with my axe. Yeah,
And that's also what Loki is just like in, like, mythology. He's just a nuisance that makes a mess sometimes to... because he likes bothering people. Thinks it's funny. That was great.
Can I get that X back? It's in your leg. You're gonna have to turn over. Got it. Yeah, I need to brush up on my mythology, because that was something I was real into when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
But
Thor is a franchise, the movies, that I feel like people complain about a lot, like the movies not being as good as the other Marvel movies, but I feel like we're very lucky with what we got, because it could have been much, much worse.
yeah, see, that's one thing I don't understand about... fuck.
Because they're not terrible movies. They're really fun and like...
Yeah, that's one thing I don't understand. If there's if there's any criticism that I heard about the first Avenger movie, it was that it was the Thor storyline. Because a lot of people just don't like the Thor movies, and I don't know why. Like, they never really give me a reason. They just don't like them. Which is why they were hesitant about the Avenger movie, because the Avenger movie revolved so much around Loki.
Yeah, and then that ended up working out really well, because it helped with like setup. We needed to clear up what happened with the Tesseract, because that had just fallen into the ocean at the end of Captain America.
Right.
And like, I don't know, it ended up working really well.
I do think that, like, similar to how the DC shows kind of helped introduce characters to, introduce the audience to DC characters that you otherwise wouldn't really have gave a shit about.
Mm-hmm.
I think the movies also did the same thing for the for Marvel, because first off, not just the obvious choice Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
but Thor was just kind of there. Like, he's a cool character now
Show me
that
postcards.
you get him.
From your family in New York.
But in the
City.
comic books, he was just sort of
Go
a
there.
one note. He was the
Okay.
medieval character.
Yeah.
There you are, you bastard.
I also think the like hatred for the Thor movies is helped along by like the Thor movies are kind of supposed to be like the girl movies for like Marvel fans.
How
Like
so?
they're the ones where you have the like sexy shots of shirtless Chris Hemsworth under a waterfall and like and like they deal a little bit more with the emotional side of things than like other Marvel films. And
I guess the state building's that way.
like I do agree that there are much better Marvel
Hello,
movies,
big boy. Come to
but
test the old
Thor
man
is not a
will.
failure by any stretch of the imagination.
Fuck.
Yeah, he looks intimidating. I'm just gonna hide here for a minute.
No. I
Have a plan?
yeah. Something like that. Okay. Alright.
Run.
There's more people shooting at me. Alright, this is bad. This is... crevice. Alright, you were saying something.
Oh, just that I agree that there are better Marvel movies, but Thor was not a failure.
It was not. See, to me, the worst Marvel movies are the X-Men, and that's just because they're they're too complicated fuck for film. It's like they're very, in the comics, they're very like deep dynamic and very philosophical storylines. Something that you can't really touch in a movie. Like, at least with the Civil War stuff, they changed it enough for you to get it. Like, in a condensed version. They didn't go into everything that they could have with Civil War. But, yes.
Get him?
He's a chicken. Metal. Fuck.
Metal chicken.
Metal chicken.
I feel like my guts are falling out. That man
Oh.
walking.
You're fine. You're very dramatic, but you're fine.
Running around in a mech suit. Feel like my guts are falling out. Carolyn, take me home.
It's because he's from Texas.
Shit. Stop. I'm going. I'm leaving. Didn't want to make an alliance with the New York Resistance anyway.